Hi there, Dr. Gary here on the road. We sell dental practices nationwide. We are dental practice brokers. I was a dentist for 25 years and now doing the brokerage for 15. Today's topic is what valuable lessons and information have I learned after being a dental practice broker for 15 years. We'll get into that. Now, as you know, we now have 10 employees. We're in 25 states, and we are available to you 363 days a year, just taking off Christmas and Easter. Now, everything you're about to hear is for entertainment purposes only. It's not legal or business advice. Also, if you'd like to reach us, our phone number is 201-663-0935 and website dentalpracticeguide.com or nationwidedentalpracticebrokers.com. So give us a call. We'll have a nice chat with you. And there's a complimentary calls. Don't worry about it. We'll talk to you. If you are thinking about selling your practice grossing over $1 million, 5 operatories or more, doctor willing to stay on, or something like that, certainly consider, you may want to consider selling to a DSO or corporate dentistry. We do work with them. We're independent from them, but we'll recommend them occasionally, or if you have one in mind, we'll work with them. They will often pay our commission. So generally there's no commission to you. Please give us a call and we'll be more than happy to help you with that. And you won't have a commission to pay. You'll get all of our experience. We have our 2 CPA accountants. I mean, we have a lot to share. And also, on top of that, if you are selling a dental practice and we're representing you, and it closes for over $1 million or more, we will reimburse your legal fees upon successful closing. So please call us and we can explain everything about that. We did that last week. Or was it this week? Maybe it was this week. Yeah, we did it this week, reimbursed. And then we did it 2 weeks before that, a week before that. I'd say within the last month and a half, we did it 3 times. Happy to do it. Just base it on some small criteria. But anyway, so let's go over what we learned after all these years. First and foremost, to have a successful sale for buying or selling dental office, a successful sale, you must start off with the fundamentals, which are a dental bank for the funding. That's like essential. You want a bank that does funding for dentists all the time, healthcare and dentists all the time. Very important. Each region has about 3 to 4 banks, 5 banks per region. But you've got to just really, if you don't have that, you're starting off the problem. The second foundation piece is dental attorney for the buyer. Experienced dental attorney. What does experience mean? This doesn't mean somebody that does hospital mergers, hospital administration. No, this is dental deals, day in and day out. How many? I have one attorney I know last year in 24 did 161 dental closings. 161. All right? It's quite a few per month. What is that, like 12, 13, 14, 15 per month or something like that? That means every week you're doing like 3 of them or 4 of them. So that's essential for the buyer and for the seller. Each one has their own attorney. And for the seller, you need a separate dental attorney. Buyer, a separate dental attorney. And remember, for the seller, if it's over $1 million, for the seller, will reimburse legal fees for the seller based on some minor criteria. Well, reimburse the fees. Anyway, now, Some of the other things we've learned also, you have a practice that's in a rural area. I mean, you're like an hour and a half from a major city. You're not considered in the suburbs, but you're out in the rural area. Those, although we do have buyers, they take longer, a lot longer. It could be up to a year, 2 years, somewhere along there. The average practice that we're selling now, about 4 to 8 months, somewhere around there. That's start to finish, from the day we start advertising till the day we close. Don't forget, if you have a buyer tomorrow, and you agree on a price, it's going to take 45 to 60 days. If it's real estate, it'll take up to 90 days. And that's if you had a buyer immediately that you agree on. So rural areas, you've got to start thinking very early on, a few years ahead of time. Because unfortunately, some of those doctors, if they don't plan properly and they try to say, we're ready, I want to sell right now, that's difficult. I don't ever advise closing your doors because you couldn't sell. However, sometimes that happens, and I don't like to see that happen. It's the worst thing you could do. So let's get back to this. Rural areas are just, you could do very well financially. An alternative it could be, bring somebody in as an associate early on and do something like it's a definite buy-in, that type of thing. Although I don't believe in the slow buy-in type thing. But at least you could try it. Talking about that subject, buy-in, that the associate comes, works for a couple of years, and then slowly, then they decide to buy in. Each year they get vested. I don't believe in it at all. You essentially are taking on a partner. You have an ironclad contract. Yeah, okay. And then they say, I'm not paying attention to your contract, sue me. It's going to cost you $5,000 to initiate the suit. Could take you 2 years before the suit's over. And it could cost you $30,000, $40,000. You may not even win. Not worth it. It's bad blood. So, I don't believe in that. I don't believe in the slow grow buy-in. It just doesn't work. It may, under certain circumstances. I'm not an advocate of it, so I would just stay away from it. If you're not ready, just sell the office because you want to do the phase in, phase out. Sell the office, become an associate, have an employment agreement, and do your phase in, phase out over there. Just phase in, phase out. The concept, I want to deal with the concept of these dentists that are like 75 years old and they love dentistry, they say. I appreciate that. You get a lot of satisfaction on curing a patient's problem. I mean, patient comes in with RCT problem and you take them out of pain. I mean, you're like the greatest, the absolute greatest. And you get personal satisfaction out of it. But you can't, you got to be so careful that you start reaching the age of 70. Not that you can't be productive and on top of your game, but you really got to start thinking 68, 70. You've got to start thinking about letting go of the practice while it's still doing well. Number one thing you have to avoid is declining revenues. That's a big problem. Banks see that, buyers see that. The reason why, let's say in 23 you were doing 600,000, or 22 you did 600,000, 23 you did 525, 24 you did 440. It's a trend. The trend keeps going down. Banks see that. What they do is extrapolate down. This is a declining revenue practice. So they think your practice is going to do in the 300s in the following year, 25. You got to be aware of that. You can't do that. You can never let declining revenues affect you. You have to maintain them. But you reach the age of 70, you have to seriously think, like, what am I doing? What's my exit strategy? And I know you say you love dentistry. It is satisfying, yes. And I've told you many times, I find personally going up and down the intercoastal along Florida on a yacht with your best of college friends or a bunch of couples. I mean, there is nothing like that. I mean, nothing. You have your own chef for a crew. There's a captain. You have a couple staterooms. Maybe it's a 100-foot yacht. You could rent those. I was fortunate to have one of my buddies have one. I mean, that is unbelievable. Now, are you trying to tell me you want to be in your office drilling, seating crowns, or you could be with your best college friends golfing up and down the intercoastal? I mean, it's unbelievable. I remember one day we were going through Georgia, and these beautiful river grasses on the side. There's a gentle wind, and the wind was just folding them. Oh, it was unbelievable. And I'm hanging with my buddies. I don't know how you beat that. I know you love dentistry, believe me. But sometimes you got to let it go. You start hitting that 70 range, you got to start thinking about an exit strategy, even though you have the energy to go to 75, 76, 78. I realize that. But I'm dealing with disabilities all the time. Let's talk about disabilities, by the way. This was a bad week for disabilities. You know that one dentist I visited 1 month ago, cancer, it's like 70, I don't know, 76 or something like that. He's younger than that. It's 1 month ago. That's it. He's on hospice, and the physician told him, you got a month. Party's over. You know, I had lunch with him. He started talking about his regrets and things he should have done. Certainly one of them wasn't spending more time at the dental office. You know, and if you need this second source of income, there's a lot of things you could do. Believe me, you're a successful business person, you could do it. How to work with staff, how to communicate with people. You know, it's all about communication. The successful business person knows how to communicate and to convince somebody or sell somebody a product or convince somebody to accept a service. So, but this disability, yet this has been a bad week. Now we got a dentist. I just got the call. The guy's 50. Aneurysm, gone. I know it's not going to happen to you. I know your parents live forever. You don't have a problem. I know you eat well, you trim, you get checkups all the time. 50 and gone. Now his whole estate is in a mess. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to help wherever I can. But you got a fragile situation there. And you sit with the spouse, and the spouse is like, what a mess. Nothing's set up. You lose all the goodwill. You're running out of days. You got to sell that thing as soon as possible. Hopefully you can hold on to the staff. Excuse me. Take disability seriously. I'm dealing with it twice a month for 15 years. From around the country, I get the phone calls. This week, 50-year-old passed away, brain aneurysm. Don't worry, it won't happen to you. But for the few of you that realize it may, they may happen to them, my suggestion is please do whatever you can and try to prepare early, because disabilities do happen. And I'm dealing with them every day, every month, twice a month for 15 years. And it's very difficult. Your value of the practice plummets. You worked all these years and it plummets. It's a very difficult thing. And I know you have a lot of friends that practice until they're 75, 78, 80, 82, 84. I think 84 is my oldest. He was the fellow, a really nice fellow, great guy. Just 84, basically still practicing. That was a headache too. So, whatever, you have to try to have an exit strategy. And if financially you still need the money, there's other things you could do. You could work as an associate. You could start another business with very low overhead, or hardly any overhead at all. Some type of sales-oriented thing. I mean, there's a lot of things you could do from behind your desk. Have employees that work remotely. Quite a few things to do. Now, the next thing is the buyers. You can't have everything you want. You've got to expand your parameters. Expand your parameters. I know you want to work within 10 minutes of your home. Your children are in school. You want to be able to drop everything. Well, I don't care if you're, they're 2 minutes away. I mean, they have school nurses there. They have problems. They take care of things. But it's going to take you a time to get to the school to solve the problem. In the meantime, there's a local ambulance that will mitigate the emergency. What are you going to do? You're still 10 minutes away. But most of these doctors want to be within a close proximity of their house, and it's very hard. It's hard to limit yourself to a 45-minute commute. Or more, no, not even, it's 10 minutes. They don't want to be more than 10 minutes away. I appreciate that. Traffic and everything, you're wasting your time. I knew one guy, he said, well, I don't mind an hour and a half commute. I listen to music. I said, listen, you could be home spending time with your children, play the music in the background, and you're sitting in your car for an hour and a half? Give me a break. So, but expand your parameters. Not that you got to expand it to an hour and a half, but you've got to understand the time value of money. Commuting a long distance, not a good idea. But, if you could do it within a half hour of your home, expand your parameters. Expand them so you can at least not miss deals. And that's what happens sometimes. These buyers miss these great deals because they don't want to go out of their comfort zone and 15 minutes away from their house. That's it. They're your perfect deal. There is no perfect deal. You're never going to find it. Or you can get a practice that meets many of your criteria and then decide, okay, what I'll do is I'll continue to look for my perfect practice. If I find it, fantastic. If not, okay. So these are some many things that we've learned over the years. The attorneys, the banks, you be the right one, the foundation, be patient, let your attorneys do their work, try not to interfere too much. Stay away from Medicaid. Another message. It's hard to sell Medicaid practices, even though some Medicaid fees are very good. For example, Washington, D.C. Medicaid fees are very good fees, sometimes better than the DSOs. But the DSOs, it's hard. You have a Medicaid practice, it's going to be really hard to sell, if at all. So begin moving away. Now, I have a couple that is 80% Medicaid. I said, you got to get out of it. You want me to sell the practice, get out of the Medicaid, but don't do it overnight. Do a slow transition. Begin replacing the Medicaid with, we got a light coming in here. Replace it with PPO, slowly, fee for service. Because it's going to be hard to sell. That's the other thing. I'll tell you another thing I learned. Everybody's burning out from this PPO dentistry, discounted fees. I got out like 19, 20 years ago. It was getting popular then, but I'm like, I'm not doing this. I just opened up a second office and a third office. I'm out of here, I said to myself. No way I'm doing this. I'm not going to reduce my fees 30, 40%. You're killing yourself. What's happening across country? Every dentist that's doing the PPOs from about age 55, 54 to about 75, every single one of them is feeling the stress. They're worn out because they used to do dentistry when they didn't have to deal with that. It was fee for service or full reimbursement from insurance companies. Your fee was the UCR, they would accept it. Now it's completely different. These dentists are feeling it. All across the country, they are feeling it. They're feeling the discomfort, the pain, reducing the fees. It's hard to discount your fees. Some say, we don't have to, it's easy to get patients. Yeah, what? Friggin' 30% off, 35% off your fees? You've really got to start moving towards the fee-for-service model without dropping your gross income. So it's going to be done through marketing, advertising, fantastic staff, fantastic hygienist, win the patient over. No question about it. Another note is maintaining staff. It's hard because the staff we have a deal now. I told them don't do this. But the fire doctor's going to let go of the staff, except one staff member. The entire staff. I'm like, what do you... He says, well, they've been working so long. Their salaries are like over the top. I can't afford the salaries. I said, you can't afford not to pay their salaries because you're going to have problems. Don't do that. I realize they've been around, but that, one crown, they can convince a patient, or one large bridge, or a whole set of veneers, they win the patients over. That staff is the link to your path, to the doctor's past. It's the link to it makes them feel comfortable. Patients are going to come in and ask, how's the new doctor? And you're firing all the staff? You can't do that. I know you're paying them high. I mean, if it's that bad, you keep them for 6 months, talk to them. The staff have no problem getting into the job. It is so hard with staffing. I mean, it's really hard. Another note, banking. Everybody's used to this 100% banking, 100% finance of the agreed upon sale price. Well, if you heard the news lately, and I don't do small business SBA loans for dentists. I don't like them. Too much paperwork. It's crazy. Most banks will do 100% financing. But SBA is tightening up all their rules. Tightening up the amount of money you have to put down, the amount of money you need in the bank. SBA is tightening the rules. Now, I know another bank that is beginning to get away from startups. They'll still do them, but they want you to have more money in the bank. It's higher risk. So, be aware of that. So I think the future is, it's going to get tougher. I think it's going to get tougher and tougher for banking in the future. Credit's going to be tighter. They want more money that you have to maintain in the bank, have your own. It might even be, it's not there yet, but it might even be they want you to throw some money in on the deal. Put more money as a down payment. We don't have that right now. That's changing right now. So we try to keep you up to what's happening, what's going on, and I hope you find some of these points very helpful. There's many more ideas and points. These are just a few of them I hit on. All right, this is one of my longest videos. If you guys hung in this long, I'm proud of you. High five. We hope you learned a lot. We're way over 600 now, number of YouTube videos. So keep listening. Hit the subscribe button. It's a Friday. It looks like a lot of people are going to the beach from what I can see already. Woo! It's going to be a great beach day. Okay, bye.